Nisan kanalen YouTube to I'm doing this short film video horror. Qa video të qofun, ka të youtuber në kam pahun. Për zonin gjitha këto duken friksme. Ja, kjo është greni. Vjetë reale. Për zot nuk të alën mirë, për shof. Për shof. Atë se shofun. E është hyper friksme. Mirë për shof këtë. Jo! Subscribe, only subscribe. Okay. Ha? Ha? Çfarë dëgjoj? Pret. Ka vodi kufjet e mia? Për zotin, pret. Për zotin nuk dëgjoj fare. Ka vodi kufjet? Restart. Restart.
1,000 TikToks. Might be a long video, but yeah, here is 1,000 of the scariest TikToks on the internet. Guys, get under the covers, grab a feast, grab a meal, maybe a few drinks, and yeah, enjoy 1,000 TikToks. Definitely my longest reaction video ever, so yeah, drop a like and enjoy. Oh my god! Hold up. They made a tongue that salivates. This looks more real than an actual tongue. What is the spit? Is it just water? We're starting off with a weird one, dude. Is this real or is this a Halloween decoration? Well, I think it's a Halloween decoration, but it's still absolutely terrifying. A good prank would be putting this machine up so far away from Halloween. Just putting it up in April, just on the side of the street. People would be freaking out.
Cuts.
Or the
Kush është një video horror duket si kre.
From jump scares and logged off because we couldn't handle the scares. But if this happens to you in real life, you can't pause, you can't log off, and especially once it catches you, you can't restart. Today, I'll be talking about horror games based on true events. What's up, guys? Welcome back, and today I'll be talking about horror video games based on true events because this will be a spin-off video to my last video, which instead of talking about horror movies based on true events, I will be talking about horror games based on true events. And by the way, before this video does start, I just have to say thank you so much because the channel has officially hit 10,000 total views. So thank you to everybody viewing my videos. And yeah, I know 60% of those views came from Tub, but I still made this. I just did that. Fear breaks in. If the intruder finds you, he would kill you. This video game is claimed to be based on a true story, but while researching it, I couldn't really find anything on this. When you search up, is Fears of Fathom Home Alone a true story, it will just tell you that it is an episodic psychological horror game and it features multiple stories for the player to experience. What sets Fears of Fathom apart is the fact that its episodes are based on real-life stories. Even when I dig some more research, I still couldn't find any specific stories that the game is based on, so my conclusion is that the game is just based on home invasions in general, a crime that does happen in real life. So this game is not inspired by a particular story. It is just based on the fact that stuff like this does happen in real life, so it is kinda lame that there's no real story behind the making of this game. So yeah, this game isn't technically based on specific stories, it is based on home invasions in general, like I said. So stuff like this does happen in real life and it is pretty realistic, so I wouldn't be too surprised if it was based on a true event or very similar to a true event. So game developers of this game, don't sue me, but I assume that you guys just called it based on true events just to boost sales. But look, that is just my theory. While researching, I literally couldn't find anything that this game is based on a real specific story. But hey, if it is based on home invasions in general, it is pretty cool, not gonna lie. And the game is fun. I would probably play, and I'm pretty sure the Home Alone episode is free to play. Could be wrong, but if you guys have not yet played it, I recommend it because it does look like a pretty cool game. Chernobylite.
Мусор еще там накроется.
Котенок, знаешь такое выражение, Игорь?
Set in a hyper-realistic 3D scan wasteland of Chernobyl's explosion zone, you'll take on the role of Igor, a physicist and ex-employee of the Chernobyl's power plant. Returning to Pripyat
Dinheiro que eu sou tani. Ajo për 18 vjeç, ka lun të kur 9 vjeç. Se di fara. Se di fara.
to investigate the mysterious disappearance of his fiancée. 30 years prior, the wasteland was caused by a nuclear-botched power plant explosion that made the wasteland. Trying to find your fiancée, you have to fight a boss called the Black Stalker, and this game does seem pretty fun, and this game is actually based on the Chernobyl power plant explosion. Chernobyl is located in Ukraine, and before evacuation, it used to be the home of 14,000 people. Chernobyl was the first place in Ukraine to ever have nuclear power plants, but on April 26, 1986, Reactor 4 exploded and is now a ghost town where around 600 people still live there. Wildlife has taken over and animals live there more than humans. It is also the most radioactive place in the world. So yeah, Chernobylite, it is based on the real events of the Chernobyl explosion, but keep in mind, after the true events, the video game is all fiction, but the beginning part is, yeah, it's basically based on real life. A minister who preached unconventional socialist and progressive ideas to a predominantly African-American congregation called the People's Temple. Both get separated in a helicopter crash, and Blake has to find his wife while traveling through the village inhabited by a deranged sect that believes the end of days are upon them. This game is based on Jonestown Massacre. The story of Jonestown begins with Jones, a white minister who preached unconventional socialist and progressive ideas to a predominantly African-American congregation called the People's Temple. At the height of its popularity during the 1970s, the temple had a membership estimated in the thousands and was courted by local politicians in San Francisco, including Harvey Milk. But by 1977, Jones had grown paranoid from the media scrutiny over the temple's suspicious activities. So he and his numerous followers moved to an agricultural settlement, aka Jonestown, in Guyana, the remote country east of Venezuela. Concerned over the welfare of those in the jungle encampment prompt U.S. Congressman Leo Ryan to visit Jonestown in November 1978. After checking out the settlement, Ryan was shot in the head along with 4 other people by temple gunmen. Following those murders, Jones commanded his followers to drink cyanide-laced punch, starting with the children first. In all, there was over 900 people who died in Jonestown, including Jim Jones, who was found dead with a gunshot wound to his head. There is speculation that he may have taken his own life, or that his nurse Annie fatally shot him before she killed herself in the same manner. And before the 9/11 attack, this was considered the largest number of American civilian casualties in a single non-natural event. This was reported by press aide to join Philip Morin, the co-founder of Red Barrel Games, and the people behind Outlast 2 had an interview with Indie Games Level Up in which they discussed story inspiration of the game. Morin stated in that interview that one of the main inspirations for Outlast 2 was a lot of research into the Jonestown Massacre, which he said has been dubbed to be the biggest mass suicide ever recorded in history. Silent Hill 2.
Nuk është shoh kot. Për zotin nuk është shoh kot. Do bëj një video tani. Do bëj një. Do luaj Roblox. Nuk është shoh dotun. Nuk është shoh dotun. Harova, nuk së në shihon me pa video horror. Për zotin, që lojë të lojmë Squid Game? Jo, e bom Squid Game. Kam e lujt atë me cheese. Është horror, as nuk është horror fare. Jesus Christ. janë gjithë njerëzit në shtëpi. Unë po luaj video horror që tremem që unë në ras. Po zonë në ravi po policia të po bëna video nesër ka policia. Me që ka nesër është e hanë në klas, në shkollë. Nëse është e hanë unë në shkollë. Cheese. Ose në përqen dhe ose në. Përqen shpak dhe asi shumë. Jo, ka që ka vasi, kjo gjafë të ka vasi. Përqen shumë. Përqen shumë. Pa më përqen shumë dhe ka shumë. Mirë, vajlesht. Për zënë për tramë në shumë. Për zonë si duke tu si kur janë fut brënda në djafë. Si kur janë djafë që është gigant. A gigant se nuk bare do djafë, ka plas më në kohë. Për zotë me e këtë. Ai mirë që për zotin e madhë kam në tremja. Po pëlqeni ju kjo video horror. Bëni like dhe subscribe dhe subscribe më të shpari. Like subscribe ose të një më të baj. Masa do bëj dhe Freddy. Isha e vogël gja shumë për miun, e kisha qef miun. Kurse tani miu është bëj një video horror. Miu a bo miu 100 herë me ma se mu. Nuk talën biqë, është çuditçme. Është sas. Është murë. Po t'ishe gjatë, të hapë gjatë. Pa çudi fare. Kësë gjatë. T'ishe gjatë në një dhe kisha hëngër, kisha me dalë jashtë gjatë. Pa një, pa ta gjithë të Game Bros. E da ti pe? Jemi Prit. Ja, jemi qashtor. Ka dal një hacker i ri që thonë do na hesh. Riko, iki video, do iki Robloxi.